Okay class, in the previous lecture we have seen what are the experimental facts. Let me take a quick revision. The specific heat capacity of the solids, that is directly proportional to, that is constant at high temperature. Okay, you can see Cv is equal to 3R. It is independent of temperature, and when you decrease temperature and temperature is close to 0, then Cv directly proportional to T cube. It is demonstrated by in experiments and theoretically explained by Debye. Okay class, and it is particularly for insulators, and for metals Cv is found directly proportional to T, and the curve is of this kind. You can see at high temperature, when temperature is high, then the curve for Cv and versus T, it becomes flat parallel to temperature axis. So here you can see if you further increase temperature, there will be no any increase in Cv. So dependency of Cv on T vanishes here. But when the temperature is low, you can see then Cv depend with Cv changes with respect to temperature. So class, here we will see the different theories given by the scientist which explain the experimental facts regarding specific heat capacity of the solid. So first theory was given by Dulong and Petit. Okay class, and they assumed that firstly, whenever we give any theory, we assume some points, okay, to clarify, to demonstrate the experimental facts. Okay, so here the assumptions made by Dulong and Petit were that they assumed that atom inside the crystal, that is a three-dimensional simple harmonic oscillator. Okay, so this is one of the assumption. Another assumption was that the atoms are three-dimensional harmonic oscillator. These are independent. Okay class, and the third one is they can share any amount of energy. Okay, mean to say these harmonic oscillators, three-dimensional simple harmonic oscillators, are classical harmonic oscillators. So he said that atoms in the crystal are classical harmonic oscillator. ठीक है, I am writing it in short, harmonic oscillator, HO, harmonic oscillator. So here we need to see what is the meaning of classical harmonic oscillator. Okay, classical harmonic oscillator is that which can share any arbitrary amount of energy, continuous amount of energy. This we want to say that atom can have energy in continuous spectrum. Okay class, now you need to clarify this meaning. Suppose I am giving you example of photon. You see here photon, the energy of photon according to Planck's theory, this is given by NH nu. Okay, or I can write simply like this: energy of photon is h nu. Okay class. So the amount of energy here depends upon this value n. Okay, if the two particles are here which are vibrating in this with this frequency, then the energy will be twice of h nu. If only one particle is here which is vibrating at this frequency, then the energy will be this much h nu. Okay class. So this is the thing. So here the energy cannot be 1.5 h nu. Okay, it will be integral multiple of this quanta of energy. So this is photon, the packet of energy, okay, and the total amount of energy will be integral multiple of h nu. Okay class. So this is the thing in case of discrete energy distribution. Okay class. So if we draw spectrum here, then you will see, if we take energy along this and let this is the energy corresponding to n equal to 1, then it will be h nu. Okay, and this is for n equal to 1. Okay class. Here the energy, this energy is h nu, and this is for n equal to 1, and the energy, next energy level will be for n equal to 2, and it will be 2h nu. So class, this is the thing. So this is discrete energy spectrum. Okay, so continuous energy are not allowed here, but Dulong-Pettit said that the atoms are three-dimensional classical simple harmonic oscillator, and they are independent of each other. So a classical harmonic oscillator or atom inside the crystal can have energy in continuous spectrum. Okay class. Okay, so class, now these were the assumptions, and based on these you need to keep them in mind. And now I will discuss the internal energy of a particle, and then we will find what will be the change in the internal energy. So as we have discussed in the previous lecture, and here firstly come to the assumption. One of the assumption in the Dulong-Pettit theory, classical theory. Class, here we have assumed that the atom is classical simple harmonic oscillator. So that's why we can call this is a classical theory of specific heat capacity of solids. Okay class. So here atom is classical harmonic oscillator. Okay, and you know what is inside, what happens in simple harmonic oscillator. Here the energy U, internal energy, will be equal to the kinetic energy and the potential energy. If you write the relation for them, it will be P square by 2m and plus 1 by 2 kx square. Okay class, and this is for one dimension. Firstly we will do it for one dimension, then we will extend it to 3 dimension. Okay, how we can do this? Because we know, according to equipartition theorem of energy, we know that the energy associated with each dimension, that is same. Okay class. So we will find it for one dimension, then we will multiply it by 3, then we will obtain the energy of 3-dimensional classical simple harmonic oscillator. Okay class. So for one dimension, this is the energy. Okay, now So class, here now we will take firstly the particle along one dimension, and if you put the value of k, it will appear the potential energy will be p square by 2m and then plus half m omega square into x square. Okay, so class, here this is for one dimension, this energy is for one dimension. Now one more thing we need to keep in mind here is that the atom is a classical particle, and the distribution of such particles, such independent particles, is given by Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law, and according to this law, okay, according to this law, the particles which are the number of particles distributed, number of particle distributed in energy range E and E plus D, having temperature T is proportional to exponential energy of the particle divided by kBT. Okay class, so here you will see that if the temperature of the particles, why we are taking the temperature, because this temperature is related to the internal energy. So okay class, this is Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution law, and according to this, the number of particle, and what is the kind of particle? The particle are classical particle, and classical particle can exchange any amount of energy. So the energy spectrum is continuous. Okay, and the number of particle distributed in the energy range E and E plus DE, having temperature T, that is proportional to exponential E by kBT. So this is okay class, so this is the factor, and here will be a negative sign is here. Okay class, and kb is Boltzmann constant. Okay, so now I will rub it and I will start with. So class, in such kind of distribution, if you want to find out the number of particle, then what you will do, you will make use of this factor. Okay, so the number of particle, let it is n. Okay, and this will be equal to integration exponential minus energy divided by kBT bracket close into dE. So this is the thing, and if you want to find out the total energy, okay, energy, if you want to find out the energy, total energy, then it will be, you see, this represent the number of particle, and the energy possessed by one particle, let I take it to be E, because the particles are having energy in the range E and E plus dE. So let I take the energy to be E, and then if I multiply it by the number of particles, that is this much, minus E into kBT, and you integrate it over the all available energy range, then you can have the idea of the total energy in the system. Okay class, now come to our topic. Our topic was, we have an atom, and atom is a classical three-dimensional simple harmonic oscillator. So we were discussing its energy, and this is the internal energy, okay, which you have found to be U. So we will put U in place of E, and we will find the average energy associated with a simple harmonic oscillator in one dimension. So for this we will make use of this relation. The energy, I will write here, the average energy associated with one dimensional classical, I am writing here, classical simple harmonic oscillator, that is the atom. It is given by average energy can be written like this, or you can write it E, you can put a bar here, somewhere you will find it E average. So whatever you want to you can write, and this will be equal to the total energy divided by number of particles. So if you put it, then you will get the energy E, okay, into exponential, okay class, and then let me write it here. So the average energy, this will be equal to integration energy of one particle exponential minus E divided by kBT into dE divided by the number of particles, that is exponential minus energy divided by kBT into dE. So this is how you can find the average energy of the particle, where the energy associated with one particle, that is, you have done it, and this is given by P square divided by 2m, then plus 1 by 2 mass of the oscillator atom and its frequency omega square, and then x square, displacement along the x-axis. So this is the value, and I will put in the next step these values, and we will see what happens. So the average energy will be equal to integration, and you will put the value of E, that is this much, and I will write it here, P square divided by 2m plus potential energy, that is half, and mass of the oscillator, frequency of the oscillator along x direction, into exponential exp, and then minus E. So you will put a negative sign before it. I will make use of curly bracket here, okay, and I will put this E inside the bracket, P square divided by 2m plus half mass omega square x square, okay. So this is E, and divided by kBT, okay. So this whole thing is divided by kbt bracket close into now dE. dE will be dP into dx. Okay class, and this momentum is also x direction because we are taking the case of one dimension. So you can write it as dpx. Okay, so I am not writing it. So now this is the numerator factor, and now we will write denominator, and it will be having this much part only. You will see the bracket, this bracket will not be here in the denominator. Okay class, and in the denominator I will write kbt below these powers. Okay, because if you divide it by kbt, then it will look like exp, okay, curly bracket minus, it will be p square by 2m kbt, 2m kbt, and then plus. Okay, and if you have ex plus y, then you can write it ex into ey also. So you will see exponential raised to power this factor plus this factor, so I can separate them. Okay class, so I am writing it this into this is for p, so I am writing it for p. Okay class, and then exponential, now you are left with the factor of x only, so I can write it minus and m omega square x square divided by 2 is there, and I will write here kbt bracket close, and here I will take dq. Class, you can do it, you can change it now because you have two variable now, so I can write it p and q here. Okay, so this is the thing, so you will solve it for p and q and you will make the changes, and here also I am doing the same kind of changes here. Okay, so class, you see, if we separate these parts in numerator also, okay, then you will get the average energy. This will be equal to integration with respect to p, and here you have p square divided by 2m, p square divided by 2m, and then the factor of p, as you have done here, it will be exponential minus p square by 2m kbt bracket close into dp. So this is the thing, and here you will write that. Okay, you see, I have read it in book, and in book here was q, so I have written here q. So do not assume that it is rectification, you can take variable of your choice. Okay, so here also I have written q, this is x class. Okay, here you have made change, so this is x. Okay, so don't get confused. So here we have separated dp, now I will write it for q, and here it is m omega square x square divided by 2, and then kbt, no, here will be no kbt because this is the factor. So class, you will see here 2p square by 2m will multiply with this whole factor. Okay, so it will be, you have written for dp, and now you can write it for exponential minus m omega square x square divided by 2 into kbt into dx. Okay class, or you can write it like and here will be with respect to x. Okay class, so this is one factor. You have multiplied p square by 2m, p square by 2m with this one. Now you are left with this factor also. Okay, denominator will be below it, so it will be, I am writing here denominator, that is this factor exponential minus p square by 2m, this is energy divided by kBt into dp, and then with respect to x it will be exponential minus m omega square x square divided by 2 kBt into dx. So this is with respect to p and this is with respect to x. Okay, so this is one part. When you multiply p square by 2m with this whole factor and you take denominator, now we have one more part that is corresponding to this, and now we will write it like integration m omega square x square by 2. Okay, and then we have exponential minus p square by 2m kBt. Okay class, okay, let me write for x first. Okay, so if you write for x first, then it will be m omega square x square divided by 2 into kBt bracket close into dx. So this is with respect to x. Okay, and this factor will also come here, so I am writing it integration with respect to p and then exponential, we have here p square by 2m kBt with negative sign will be here, and here also negative sign is there. Okay class, so negative will be here, bracket close into dp. Okay, so class, this is the thing, and denominator will be same in both factors. Here will be integration with respect to p and then exponential and minus p square by 2m into kBt. Okay, then dp, and then integration with respect to x exponential minus, you will be having m omega square into x square divided by 2 kBt into dx. So this is the solution of this equation. We have rearranged this equation, so here you will see the benefit of rearrangement. Here this factor is both in numerator and denominator, so you can cancel this factor, it get cancel out. Okay, in the same way, come here, you have this factor for p in denominator and here the same factor is there, so it get cancel out. Okay class, so now we have separated variables, one is for p and in the second bracket we have for x only. Okay, so I am writing this equation the rearranged equation after cancelling the common terms in numerator and denominator will be the average energy E. This is equal to, from here, this is P within bracket P square divided by 2m bracket close, and you have exponential. Okay class, then minus sign minus sign is there, p square divided by 2mkt, then into dp, okay, it has cancelled, and divided by this factor, that is p integration with respect to p, and exponential minus p square divided by 2m, and kt is here, and bracket close, and then dp. So this is the thing, these will cancel out, and then plus sign is there, so I am writing here plus, okay, and then integration with respect to x होगा यहाँ पे, and you will get m omega square x square divided by 2. This is one thing. And then exponential part, you have exponential minus m omega square x square divided by 2, and here you will get kt, okay, bracket close, and then dx, okay class. So this is the thing, and then the left part of denominator, that is x, and here you have exp exponential minus m omega square x square divided by 2 kt into dx. So class, this is the simplified equation, and here we will make use of standard integral, and we will rearrange these equation. After rearranging, I am writing these equations, okay class. So now this is simplified form, and we have done this, and now we will see what were our assumption. Our assumption was the atom, I have told you many times in a single expression that this is a classical harmonic oscillator. So the meaning of classical is the energy spectrum will be continuous, and the range of the energy, momentum, position, it can be minus infinity to plus infinity. So class, here you will see this p, the range of p, this is from minus infinity to plus infinity. In the same way, the x ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity, okay class. And now we can make use of these standard integral to solve these equation, and for that we need to change variables. Okay, I am taking this variable to be neta. I am writing here, I have taken p square by 2m kt, this is equal to neta, okay, neta square. So class, you will see here what will be the value of p and neta, because for that we need to see what will be the changes in the limits simultaneously. Here you see, if p is minus infinity, then you will see neta will be minus infinity, and if p is plus infinity, it will be plus infinity. In the same way, if I put, so from here, so this is one thing, I am taking this variable neta square, and from here you will see p is equal to p by 2mkt, this is equal to neta, and from here we will find the value of dp, okay, in terms of neta, okay class. So here you will see here will be root of this factor also, okay, and dp from here will be equal to this much times of neta, d neta, 2mkt times of d neta. So this is the thing class. And for the second factor, here we have minus m omega square x square 2 kt. So I will take this factor, that is m omega square x square by 2 kt. This is equal to, let this is xi square. Okay, so you need to keep in mind, here you will see the range of x is minus infinity to infinity, and from this relation you can see if x is minus infinity then it will be minus infinity, and if it is plus infinity then it will be plus infinity. Its value is in square term. So here if I find this, the value of x here, so here you will see it will be under the root m omega square, this is square, m omega square by 2 kt into x, this is equal to xi. Okay class, so from here you can find the value of dx in terms of xi. So it will be dx, this is equal to, you will take cross multiplication and it will be 2 kt divided by m omega square under the root. Okay, cross multiplication you have done and this factor. So class, now you will change variables. Okay, and you will see the equation gets simplified. Okay, so class, now we will make the changes in this equation, and here you see p, the limits will change from minus infinity to plus infinity, so no doubt about it. And p square by 2m, we need to write it in terms of neta. You see this is p square by 2m, so p square by 2m, this is equal to kt times of neta square. So I am making change here, and from here you will see p square by kt, p square by 2m, this is equal to kt times of neta square. Okay, and here p square by 2m kt, this is neta square, no problem. And then dp is here, and dp will be this factor, and you will put it here. So here कर दिया. So class, here you will see I am putting the value of p square, I am making changes in this equation, and the average value, it will increase in length. So I am starting from here, I am putting the value of p square by 2m. So p square by 2m, this is kt, and kt is independent of neta, so you can take it out of integral. So here I am changing the limits minus infinity to plus infinity, and then here you have neta square. I am writing all this in place of p square. So class, you see I have put the value of p square by 2m here, and exponential, then you have exponential, and here this is the value, and this value is for neta square. So it will be minus sign is there, minus neta square, bracket close. Then I have put the value of this factor, let me erase it, and now you have dp. So the value of dp is this. Okay, I will put this value here, the value of dp is this value, it is 2m kt under the root into d neta. So we have put the value of dp here also. Okay, now you will make simultaneous changes here also in denominator, and you will find that this result will be here. So here you will get minus infinity to plus infinity, this factor will not be in numerator, and here is exponential minus neta square, and then root 2 m kt times of d neta. Okay class, so this is the thing. Now make simultaneous changes here also. Here you have this factor m omega square x square by 2, and then see from here This is m omega square x square and 2 by kt. So if you put the value of this factor which is present there, then it will be equal to kt times of xi square. This is equal to m omega square into x square divided by 2. So this is the thing, and I will put it in that equation, and you see here the integral will be with respect to xi. So I can take kt common here. Okay, so I am writing it, this factor is equal to kt times of xi square. So I am writing plus kt, I am taking it out of integral kt because this is constant here, and the limits of integration as you have seen will be from minus infinity to plus infinity, because the atom is classical particle, and here I am writing xi square. So now come to this point. Here you have exponential, then minus sign is there. I am writing minus sign, and this is the value of the variable which is xi square. So I am writing it directly. So this is xi square, bracket close. Now you are to put, we have done this part. Now we are to put the value of dx. You have calculated the value of dx. It is this much, and I am writing it here, and it is root 2kt divided by m omega square. This is m omega square into d xi. So this is the thing, and you will make the simultaneous changes here also. So here you will get, I am writing it from here, exponential minus xi square into root 2kt by m omega square into d xi, integration from minus infinity to plus infinity. So class, this is the thing. We have in the previous equation, we have replaced p square by 2 mkt with variables. We have calculated the value of dp in terms of the variable. In the same way, that of x in terms of variable. Okay, it is very simple. We have seen the limits. Now we will make use of standard integral. We have put the equation in terms of the standard integral, and we will make use of the formula here directly, and the result will be, let me rub it. So here class, the limits, this is minus infinity to plus infinity. Come here. Now you will see that this factor is both in numerator and denominator, and it is independent of neta, the variable. So you can take them common and then you can cancel, or you can cancel them directly. It's your choice. Okay, and here also this factor is independent of xi, so you can cancel them. Okay, or you can take them out of integral, then you can cancel. It's your choice. So I have cancelled them here, and let me rub it. So these factors will cancel. These are independent factors. So this is the thing now left with you, and you can see this resembles the standard integral, and if I put the value here, then you will see that it will be, this is equal to, you see the factor here is kt, and the value of this integral from the first formula will be root pi by 2. Okay class, root pi by 2. Oh class, you will see, I have written this formula wrong. This is this much formula. Okay, you will change here. This is this thing. This is the thing. Okay class, so come here. Now divided by, this will be root pi. This is root pi. Okay class, and then plus you will come here. This is kt. You see, you have taken kt common, and then if you put its value again, it will be a root pi by 2 divided by, the value of denominator will be from this formula, and it is root pi. Okay class, so here you see, this is the average value. This is the average value. Okay, and the average value comes out to be, this factor will cancel here, and you are left with kt by 2 and kt by 2. So this is kt. Okay class. Okay, or you can see here that this is kt by 2 plus kt by 2, and this is kt. Why I have written this, I will tell you that this is the internal energy. This is the internal energy associated with one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, and this is the average of the kinetic energy, and this is the average of potential energy along one dimension. So if you find the total average energy along one dimension, which is sum of kinetic energy and potential energy, this is kt. Okay class. So class, this is the average energy of the particle in the crystal along one dimension. This is along one dimension. So class, you will see the particle in our assumptions, was a three-dimensional harmonic oscillator. The particle was a three-dimensional harmonic oscillator. Okay, let us assume. Now assume, suppose crystal is made up of n atoms. N atoms are there in the crystal. Okay, and one atom is having 3 dimensions to vibrate. Okay, so in total we have how many dimensions? 3 n dimension. Okay class, so we have n particles which are vibrating. Each particle is vibrating in 3 dimensions. So in total we have 3 n dimension. So I can say this crystal, the crystal can be taken equivalent to 3n atoms which are vibrating in one dimension, So this is a simplified assumption to find out the internal energy along all dimension. So class, the energy I am writing it here, this is along one dimension. Okay, so the energy along 3 dimension, I am writing it capital E of the whole crystal, which is equivalent to 3n atoms which are vibrating along one dimension, and along one dimension the energy is this much. Okay, so this energy will be equal to 3n times of the energy along one dimension, that is kBT, and kB is Boltzmann constant. Okay class. And if you talk of 1 mole of the particles, 1 mole of the particle, this N will be equal to Avogadro number, Na, for 1 mole of atoms particles. Okay class. So this is the energy, rise in the internal energy. Okay class. So if you take idea of specific heat capacity, now come to the topic. If you talk of specific heat capacity for solids, you know the volume is constant, and you will find Cv, this is equal to dq by dt at constant volume. This is equal to rise in the internal energy with respect to change in temperature or heat supply at constant volume. This is equal to, we can have the idea of specific heat capacity Cv from here. So you see here the energy in simplified model given by Dulong and Petit, that is directly proportional to temperature. Okay. So class, here Cv, it will be equal to, this energy is U. Okay, this energy is U. So here it will be E, energy E by T. I am writing it here. As I have told you that the internal energy, that is U, it is a function of temperature and volume. That's why I am taking partial derivative. You can make simultaneous changes here also. Okay, I can write it like this. Okay, because internal energy is also found to be a function of a volume. Okay, so this is the thing, and if you calculate it, you see curly E by curly T at constant volume, this is equal to, you see, it will be 3 N into Kb. Okay class. Okay, and for 1 mole, this will be Na, Avogadro number, and the product of Na and Kb, this is R, another constant, gas constant. So here I can write this is equal to 3R. So you see that the specific heat capacity in case of Dulong-Petit law assumptions, as per Dulong-Petit assumptions, is found to be constant. Okay, it is independent of temperature for all ranges of temperature. Okay class. So I can say, but the experimental facts say that the specific heat capacity Cv, the graph was like this, and this is the experimental observation. So our theoretical explanation say that the specific heat capacity for solids, this is constant, but the experimental facts say that if temperature is high, then it is constant, otherwise it reduces to 0 as T decreases. So we can say the Dulong-Petit model of specific heat capacity of the solids or model of the crystal justify the experimental facts for high temperature range only, and it totally fails to explain the experimental facts in lower range of temperature. So class, at high temperature you have seen that our theoretical explanation is in agreement with the experimental facts, and this is 3R. Okay class. So this is the topic and end of the lecture, and we have taken here the atom to be classical harmonic oscillator, okay, and the atom is independent, there is no, and you see why it fails. Now we need to think, because the failure itself lie in the assumption, okay. One of the assumption was that the atoms are harmonic oscillator but they are independent, and in the introduction of lattice dynamics I have told you that the atoms are coupled, they are having bonds, they are having bonds in all dimension, okay, along the crystal axis. So, and one more thing is, we have taken that we have in the expression we have seen the crystal is vibrating in a single mode, the frequency of vibration is omega only, and in the introduction of lattice dynamics I have told you that along various direction various arrangements are possible, so the spring constant can be different, okay, so mode of vibration may be different. So all these things were not assumed by Dulong and Petit, so they failed to explain the specific heat capacity at lower temperature ranges. Okay class, so I will summarize this topic in the next video lecture. Thanks for watching the lecture.